Saturday, Salvation Saturday, Happy Shopping Saturday, Happy Saving Saturday. Those of you who can shop, I wish I could, but that ain't how my bank account set up. Hey, I am so happy to be here in the building. Not only that, I'm happy to be here with Jesus because I'm on that other side of the ground. So that means that I still have a purposeful what? Life. So I'm going to live it to its fullest. I still have change that needs to happen. So I need to accept the challenges. I still have life in who? Me. So I am happy because that means you have life in you too. If you are watching who? Me. That's who. God is so, you know what? He's so amazing. I want to say that's what's up in life. Life is full of challenges and changes, and it is ready for you. But are you ready for it? Let me tell you ways that you can equip yourself to be ready for life. You have to be suited and booted in the Lord, huh? Come on, somebody. You have to have the armor of God, just like Ephesians tells us. You got to take off that old man and put on that new man. Now, you may have to take them off daily because we don't know what your struggle is. You don't know what mine is. But you should always push forward and push through. Every day I have someone trying to do what? Bring me down. But as long as I have God on my what? Side, ain't no weapon that's going to try to come against me, okay? Because if God be for me, who can be against me? I am so in awe of God's love for each and every one of us. I am so thankful. I give him praise. I give him the honor. I give him the glory. We just started kicking off Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So that's what's up in awareness. Let's talk about that. Like my aunt, she had breast cancer. She's a survivor. I'm so proud of her. And my Aunt Charlene, if anybody knows her, like literally, she praised God all the way through it, through her chemo, through everything. She is an amazing woman. It's also something near dear to my heart. There is October 1st kicks off Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And it's been something that I've been a part of and just trying to bring light to this dark space to let people know that it's still going on. People, women and men, feel like they can still discipline each other. Y'all like that way I said that?
Yes.
Because sometimes, a person may hit you and say, because you needed it. No. So we are going to talk about that. That's what my guest is here for. Let's talk about that's what's up in politics. You see the whole Kavanaugh situation has just been brewing and going and a churning. And did you guys have any doubt in your mind that he wouldn't be nominated? I didn't. So why did you? Did you think that he wouldn't be put to the forefront? Because here's the thing. Remember, this man, he said, he got angry, he got vicious here, during his entire hearing. But if that woman would have done that, she'd have been called all kind of names. But they said that he was passionate because he wasn't guilty. I don't know whether he is guilty or not. I don't know whether she's telling the truth or not. God knows. And at this point in time, sometimes you got to put your hands off of it and let your Father do his work. God will do the work. Okay? Let's be honest. He will. And just allow him to do it. Allow his word to be set up for truth, and truth that is nothing but the truth. So help you what? God. Because he's the truth teller. And we got to understand that he will tell your truths, okay? Even if you don't want him to. So I say just, you know what? We must die to our flesh daily. We must repent daily. There's just so much going on that we have to do every day. And I'm always talking about how people feel like they need to take a candle and blow out your light. And you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to cut my light switch off because I'm going to shine regardless. I am who I am because God made me this way. My self-competition is the best competition. So every time you come for me, it's okay. Understand, I'm fine with it. with a smile.
Yes.
That's what's up with Jesus. That's what's up with Jesus. That's what's up with Jesus, because he's the best. I'm telling you, God is also, oh my gosh, so amazing that he gave his only begotten son, for whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have what? Everlasting life. He didn't have to do that for you. He didn't have to do that for me, but he did. He didn't have to do that for Mama them, Pookie, Ray them, but he did. It's so amazing that he thought so much of you to just give up his son for you. What can you give up for him? It may take things one by one, but you'll get there. Am I telling you that you're perfect? No, I'm telling you, you are perfectly imperfect. We are perfectly imperfect. I love that. Whoop, whoop. So I am here at 108 Praise Radio, voicing the gospel, where I've been voicing the gospel for quite some time, and I'm happy to do it. I love talking about God. I love bringing things to the forefront. I love who God has created in me. Just the same as when I go preach, I love speaking the word. Am I always getting my life right? No. Do I always do things right? No. Jocasta is a mess, but the Jesus in her is absolutely blessed. So I just tap into him and I keep moving. And if I can look up, I can get up. This morning, this Saturday morning, we have Miss Vita. I am just so happy. The founder and the executive directors of Sisters Empowerment. And she does so much work in the community. And you all probably know her for the work she does with domestic violence, okay? This is your woman. This is the woman to go to. I am so happy that she's in the building. Everybody, please help me welcome Mrs. Vita Brown. How are you this morning?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes, praise God. The traffic was a beast, but we here and we made it safe. Thank you, Jesus.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
So I am ecstatic and excited to hopefully, because I know today is the last day that we can get this t-shirt. And I sent out a message a month ago telling everybody we have to have a good team.
Yes.
Then people are like, yeah, I'm gonna join. We out it. So this is our last day, and we need that t-shirt, guys. So come on. I'm gonna send you another message in a few, as soon as I get off air with Vita. But let's make life happen. What I'm talking about is the domestic violence walk. But first, I want you to tell us how you got into being this supporter, this advocate for domestic violence.
Well, as a child, Mr. Jocasta, I grew up in a home where my father was abusive. And so I speak to domestic violence through the eyes of a child. Because I thought that if there was something that I can do differently, then my father would not abuse my mother.
Okay.
And the world would be great.
Better. Yeah.
And
how long did you see this abuse in the home?
Starting from about 4th grade.
Oh.
So, long time. And I tried everything that I knew humanly possible to do, but it didn't work because it had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with the abuser and the abuse. But as a child, you know, we carry a lot of unnecessary burdens that we don't even know we need to take ownership of. And so I grew up being a people pleaser.
I know somebody like that.
Yeah, I did.
Still to this day.
Yes, and I have to work on it. It's a work in progress.
So you still like that? Okay.
I love people. I know how to draw the line now. I understand about boundaries. And so I've learned a lot. But because of my love for people, you know, I can do a lot of things that maybe I should have cut the ties maybe a little bit earlier. But I just want so much for God's people that I want to go over and beyond the call of duty. sometimes.
Sometimes we want to do that because we feel like not that we're God, but we feel like that's what he would want us to do.
Right.
That's what he would want, you
That's
know.
what he would want. It makes it difficult sometimes. But nevertheless, I wanted to be an agent for change.
Okay.
So no other children would have to experience what I experienced and my siblings experienced as children, living in an abusive home.
I like it. You said an agent for change. An agent. And we know when agents are in the midst, they go through and they try to get, like, let's say this football player has an agent and he's shopping him around, trying to get him a team.
Yes.
So here it is. You're that agent for change, trying to let others know that change, it got to happen.
It
has to happen.
It has to happen. And soon.
Yeah.
This is critical times now.
So listen, with your mom, did you ever as a child go and say, Mommy, why?
No, because as a child, we were not allowed to discuss those issues. Not really understanding if that's something that you saw every day. Who knew that it was different? Something didn't feel right.
So when did you know? Because that's the thing, people come from the abusive homes with their parents, and then they go into an abusive relationship.
Well,
so as a child, you see that's what you think. How did you know, okay, this is not what happened?
Something feels
Yeah,
funny.
because if you're saying this is all I knew, this is what I saw, so you're thinking, oh, it's okay for him to hit Mama because Mama, she didn't cook the grits right, or like something to that effect.
And that's exactly what happened.
Oh, whoa.
A lot of times it was something that she didn't do right. But praise God, I grew up also with some loving grandparents.
Praise God.
Support system that was solid.
Okay.
And so even though we weren't allowed to discuss the issues of domestic violence outside of the home, I still had that nurturing from my grandparents that made a tremendous impact, that I had the opportunity to see another side of relationships, if you will.
Okay. So you didn't see that with them, so you were like, okay, this is
something is
wrong.
Weird.
Yes. And then as a teenager, paint the picture for me.
Well, as a teenager, once we started to develop as young adults, we knew that the abuse had to stop. And so my sister and my two brothers, we would actually protect my mom, if you will, from the abuse. And so eventually my father had no choice but to end the abuse, because we shielded her. We would literally stand in front of her and say, okay.
So he wouldn't hit you all?
He would, but it was 4 of us.
So
you have to realize that,
you stood for your mother.
Yes.
You stood in the gap that was between your mom getting hit.
And the kids.
That's so powerful.
Yeah, it is. And it worked. And my mother, she kept quiet a lot. She never tried to paint a negative picture for my dad.
Okay.
She just wanted us to see for ourselves. But one day she came home and said, you guys pack your things. We're leaving. And we were like, wow. And my father was like, wow. And he was like, y'all would never make it without me. So I'm going to help you all move. And we all packed up the things. He helped us pack everything.
Get out!
Yeah, and we got to the house, our new home.
Your mom had already set it up.
I already set everything up and never breathed a word, to a fully furnished house. And my dad walked in the door and dropped everything.
Oh, he knew.
He was shocked.
Your dad knew at that point that it was over. Oh, it's a wrap, Dad. Like
Lost that power.
Mom, she gained and it must have been that she saw her kids were so strong. What do you think?
I think that one day my brother came in and he worked with my father, and he was so fed up with the abuse and emotional, the psychological abuse. And at that point, he came in one day and he got a knife, and my mother said, "That's it. I got to save my son."
Oh God! And was he like high school age?
Yes.
Yeah, because boys, the more they see things, and they don't even have to be mama's boys.
Right.
They just know what's right and what's wrong.
And that instinct for protection. I think boys from the ages of 17 on, did you realize that a lot of them are incarcerated for trying to protect their mothers in abusive relationships? A lot of people don't know that.
What? I'm about to write this down.
Yes.
From 17.
Yes, I'm trying to think.
Wow.
And I should have brought those statistics with me. Yes, but they are trying to protect their mother, and so it's really a serious issue. I was at an event one day, and this little boy I will never forget. I think he was about 11. And we were at a conference, and all of a sudden he just wailed out like I've never heard before. And he told his mother, "I am tired of trying to fight these men, and I'm not strong enough." That broke my heart, but it also showed me that I'm on the right path, because these children, the millions of children that witness domestic violence each year. I was one of those children.
That's sad.
It's sad.
Because, okay, did you connect with them? Because I want to know, what did she do at the end of the day? Because your 11-year-old son saying, "I'm tired of this." And then and two, she's not realizing that can make him grow up and he's beating his girlfriend, his wife, like.
Without awareness, that's
Come
exactly
on.
why
What
I'm
did she
out here
say?
today. I mean, the whole room, we literally stopped the conference because this little boy needed all of our attention.
Yes.
Yes. And we just loved on him, and we just explained to him, it's not your fault. It's not your responsibility.
No, because he's a child.
Because he's a child. But it's happening every day.
But you always feel like, and here's the thing, Daddy, I love you to pieces. But anytime he would argue with my mom, that was me. Don't call my mama that.
Right.
Don't talk to my mama like that. And I'm not a boy, but sometimes some people make me, they make me have to come at them,
That's mama.
Because that's my mama. So I'm always like, let me protect, what's mine. And that's kind of, because if you lose that person, if you no longer have that person,
what are you going to do?
Who do you have? Because this man is beating my mom. No, my dad didn't beat my mom, but I'm just saying, like, that's the little boy.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
And he's crying out. And sometimes it takes that child to look at their mom or their dad. Let's get it. Let's get it right.
Yes.
And be like, I don't want to do this. I can't do this anymore. And you don't want DFACS to come in, because if he goes to school and tells the teacher, as that mandated reporter, she has to report it.
Yes. Yes.
And then that's when everybody has come into your life. And I know for a lot of women, all I've ever heard is it's just hard to get away. It's hard to get away. It's hard to get away. So here it is. You've stood for your mother. You all are out. You're in this house. Did mommy make it, or did you guys have to go back to dad?
My mom is beautiful. She made it. Never looked back.
I love it.
Thrived and thrived, and she will be 85 in a couple of weeks.
Woo,
And
mama!
she is doing wonderful. She's living her life to the fullest, violent free.
I love it.
And I just love it. I'm so proud of her. But she showed me that in spite of it all, if you persevere, keep God first, then you can make it. You can survive.
And she had to get out in her time, right?
Her time. In her time.
Because she had to set up the correct
plan.
things.
She had to make a safety plan. And when I was a child, it wasn't identified as domestic violence. You know, didn't have a name. So, but my mother, I think about that often. She made a plan, and she executed that plan.
I love it.
To get us to safety. So
that's what she did.
And that's exactly what she did. So it can happen. So the emotional stress that it takes on a child, you know, because I'm speaking from a child's perspective, is really harmful. And without getting help and education and awareness, then what path?
That's right.
Will they lead?
I love it, Vita, that, okay, it's your childhood situation that you went through. But you've made it your lifelong situation to help others get out.
Yes.
And so what sparked this project? What sparked this awareness? What sparked this advocate in you? Well, I mean, what aha moment you know, were you laying in the bed, sleeping, then you got up, you know, were you in prayer, were you meditate? What moment?
I love to tell this story. Actually, it seemed every night about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, God would wake me up and pour all these things in me about helping women. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And this went on for months and months and months. And I was scared because it was new to me.
Yeah.
And so one day, and this is a lesson for everybody. One day I said, God, I do not know why you are choosing me for this mission, but I have my kids and my job and I'm working and I'm scared because I don't know what this is. And everything got quiet, Jocasta. Everything got quiet. I'm like, okay, you know, because I couldn't sleep. I could do anything every night, just pouring all this stuff into me, and it felt so weird because I didn't understand. And, you know, I said, I don't have time. I don't have the patience. I'm talking to God. I know,
God,
right?
I don't have the time.
I
don't have the Look, I don't know why you calling me.
Right.
Hello, God, I'm gonna hang up right now. Look, I love you, but I just gotta hang up right now.
Trying to do all of this.
Yeah, I love it.
So one day I was going to that job that I love, you know, that provided for my family. And it was raining that particular day. And so I'm driving to work, and this truck comes out and hit me. Bam. And the impact was so horrendous, it knocked me onto ongoing traffic, and another truck hit me head on.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wait, I don't remember this. I've known you forever.
I know, but you got.
How do I not remember this?
I have the scars.
Oh,
the
my goodness.
impact from the second truck. The motor came through the firewall of my car and almost severed my foot. And what they had to do is just kind of put it in a bag and all that. And this man came up to my car, and he asked if I was okay. And I said, I think so. but I can't get out the car. Something must be on my foot. And we both looked down.
And that's when you saw it.
That's when I saw it. And the next message that I got is God saying, you think you have time to do what I chose you to do. And from that day to this one, I am committed. It is in me. God has placed it in me. But from that day to this one, God showed me about the patience that I thought I didn't have because I had to learn to walk again. I had to go to 9 months of physical therapy to learn to walk all over again, and just
oh my gosh,
it was something. I had to seek counseling because I thought once they took the bandages off, I was just gonna get up and walk.
That was an awakening.
That was an awakening.
To know that, okay, yeah, I can't just walk across this floor.
Just cannot walk across the floor. But while I was still, God was pouring. Because now I can receive it. And here we are today. So that's the story.
Wow. I remember first meeting you, and it was because of Tina Daniel. She was telling me, I think you would like to take the sister circle and you guys do this walk. It's very good, you know. And so I did, and then she was like, she wanted to introduce me to you. And then I was like, oh, I like this woman. This woman is amazing, you know. And then at that time, I didn't know, like, it's me, my crew, my ride or life. I used to be like, she's my ride or die, but no, she's my ride for life. Melita.
Yes.
And here it is. She's there with us. And then all of these things are transpiring with her as a friend. And I as her close friend. And I didn't even know.
And you didn't know.
And we did the walk again and again. And then here it is. You know, one morning I'm getting this phone call that Melita's at Grady.
Yes.
And not knowing the extent of her. And not knowing that we would truly need Miss Vita. Like, I just literally thought we were just, you know, walking for change in a cause. Yes. And just bringing as many people as possible and being able to donate. Just never in a million years thought. So here it is. We're here today. And even though my knee is not happy, I'm still like, I'm going to go and walk for this cause because I just, domestic violence is horrible, horrendous. And people act like it just does not exist. You know?
It's easy for them because so many of us are dealing with it.
Yes.
And so if we pretend that it's not going on, it's not happening, a lot of times people don't get involved because they don't want to be associated with it. When in fact, they are going through, think about Melita.
Yeah, the same thing.
She was at the walk, volunteering, the whole nine. And such a beautiful young lady.
What?
I love her so much.
I know you. She loves you to pieces.
Yes, and so, but this is the thing that we have to talk about. We've talked about statistics. We've talked about the devastating impact that it has on families.
Okay.
But what we don't talk about is that we have to love ourselves enough. You have to love me enough, Jocasta, to pay attention to the warning signs.
And there are many, but we don't see them.
Because are we looking?
No.
Serena did an awesome video for our Purple Purse campaign, and I'm going to tell you guys about that.
Serena Williams?
Serena Williams.
Praise God.
Ambassador for domestic violence. Woo, woo, I'm so happy.
That is amazing.
Yes. But she did this PSA, and she talked about if I walked out on the court and was bruised, you would know it. If something happens to my kids, you know, if you can see it in an interview or the coach wasn't acting right, you wouldn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
But because the invisible scars of financial abuse, which 99% of women remain in the relationships or return because of their finances.
It's hard out here. It's hard. People don't want to pay you good money to work.
Right.
And then put 4 kids with it.
Right.
It is.
Babysitting costs and working and mortgage.
How do you figure that out?
How do you figure it out?
It is hard. You need help.
Right. And so we have to stop saying, well, why don't she just leave?
It's not that easy. It's not that easy in a regular relationship where somebody's not being abused, but the husband is being neglecting the wife, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't ever want anybody to think we just like, men. No. But I mean, it's hard to leave, and you'll hear people's like, okay, well, I gotta get a divorce, but the funds aren't coming up. Like, this has happened. My car broke down. My child got, like, it's so much. So that woman is still stuck in that situation because she's dependent upon this man who can give 2 cents if she's there or not. Right. You know, so it is hard out here. There is no, and this, I'm happy that Amazon took minimum wage to $15 an hour. Mm-hmm. That's going to help so many people, even though we look at $15 an hour like, well, that ain't going to help me. You know, okay, well, but that's going to help so many people. Mm-hmm. And for people who are in the situation of domestic violence, that mom that's within those 100,000 employees or whatever that Amazon has, that mom can get out right now. That helps so many people. I want you guys to pay attention. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. The number again is 1-800-799-7233. And that's the National Domestic Violence Helpline. And I'm sure Vita has other numbers that she can give you if you are in Georgia. But that's for everyone, because I know that I have people watch me in Arizona. I have people who watch back in Cali. So I want you to know that it's a national hotline. And you don't have to call up Jocasta and say, hey, I need you. You can call there. But if you need me, you let me know, because I have this direct line to get you the help that you need. And we don't want you to think that you're out there by yourself, nor am I going to look at you different, nor do I have that type of time on my hands to talk about you. I have the time to get you out. I also want to remind you that anywhere there's a Quick Trip, if you look for their safe sign, it's yellow and black, they will be able to put you in a back room until help can come and get you. They will take your kids, you, put you back there, find your nearest QT, get your help that you need, okay? Or if you need to send me a message, send me a message. I'm here for you. I want you to know that. My sister circle was always a for-profit. Now it has been changed into a nonprofit, and I praise God for it, because I've had women come in there, and I don't handle domestic violence awareness or domestic violence or anything like that. I get the resources for you. That's what the Sister Circle is, that middleman where I can set you up with Vita for that. Or if you are just in a bad situation all the way around for kids or whomever, whatever your issue is, that's what the Sister Circle is for. And that's what we've been for years. And I'm your go-to. I am your go-to. I have resources that you would not believe about just to help you. We've gotten women jobs. We've helped them move. We've just helped you eat. Plumb out. You might be sitting there saying, why they can't get food stamps? Well, let me tell you something. There is a range where people cannot. They're working, but if they quit, where are they going to live? If they quit, how are they going to pay for daycare? But they can't even feed their kids. They're feeding them off the minimum, okay? So we have ways to help you ladies. And me sitting here with Vita is just to show you that we're here for you. Remember, the Domestic Violence National Helpline is 1-800-799-7233. We want to help you. It's always about awareness. Now, here it is, Domestic Violence Month. And you provide so many different services. You provide a way out of no way. I wanted you to talk to the ladies who their family says, well, it's her fault. She did it.
Right.
Vita, that's the most hurtful thing I've ever heard.
I know. And education and awareness is key. It's just like we talked about the finances, the emotional impact for families and friends not understanding, not getting involved.
Oh, hello.
Is just as impactful because each and every woman that we serve, she's the expert at her life.
That's so true.
And we need to sit back and see what her needs are.
Just listen. Excuse me, just listen. You know what people don't do, Vita? People listen to respond, not listen to understand. And for a minute now, I've just shut up. Does that make sense to you? I'm not going to say be quiet because I had to be harsh with myself so that I could listen to understand and not listen to respond. And that's when I found out who was for me. I found out who was against me. I have pretty good discernment, and I thank God for that. Because when I know somebody ain't right, I know they not right. And I love
and
it
if you're
now.
in a place so God can show, because he's going to
like it
identify.
now.
Yeah, I do too.
At first, I did not like it because it would be people that I truly love.
I know.
But now I like it. The older I get, I like it because I see you.
Right.
I see you now.
And that has helped me a lot.
Because you got to be a listener.
Yeah, all the time. And let me tell you one thing. I have so many women that call and say, thank you, Miss Vita. Because everything that I'm going through, you care.
Oh, I love it.
It's that big. That's huge. Not the resources. They're important too. But you care and you listen. Let me tell you, it's nothing for me to be on the phone for 8 hours, encouraging, talking to women, because that's what they need.
Good job.
They
Miss Vita.
need
Don't
a
leave me
friend.
hanging. Don't leave me hanging.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love you.
They need a friend.
Really, and Miss Vita, you're not their friend because the blood of Jesus running you. You're their family.
I'm their family.
You are their family,
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah, I know.
Their family is gone. You are their family.
I know.
Praise be.
But, you know, just to hear them say, it means so much to me. I was speaking with a young lady yesterday, and we've been working together now, I would say, oh, goodness, 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Story unimaginable. And she called yesterday, and she's a fighter. And she said, you know, it gets so rough sometimes.
True.
You know, that I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. I just feel like nothing is working out. And so to try to encourage someone to keep fighting, you know, to rebuild your life after the abuse.
Yeah.
Because it's possible. But, Jocasta, what I want to say to every woman and man that's listening today, we have to break the silence. We have to get help and support because it's essential. And until we start a movement, you mentioned earlier that this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Tell me, how many commercials have you seen on the subject matter?
I haven't seen any.
So it's left up to us as individuals.
Well, let's make one, Ms. Vita.
We have to make one. We have to make one.
We can make that happen.
We can make it happen. But you have not seen one. So I've been praying for the last month to see exactly what it is or how we're going to spread the message that domestic violence is not to be tolerated either. And no one deserves to be abused. We just finished the Pinwheel Garden of Hope. We plant that every year in remembrance of the fatality victims that lost their lives in Georgia. This year, there were 75 known victims.
Father God.
And just to see those victims as we are preparing the pinwheels is devastating.
That's like, oh, I got tears.
It's heart-wrenching that I think I went yesterday, Thursday, and I sat in the garden and we prayed. I took another friend of mine and we prayed. And we tidied up the garden, you know, to make sure that these women, men, and children have not been forgotten. But we have to do more. We have to take a stand, start a movement.
Because there has to be a better law in place.
Yes.
There has to be. And oh my God, just because
so many women.
That is.
We think about when I get people to approach me and talk about volunteering, and for whatever reason they think that these women are in a cluster in the corner, just waiting to be saved, when they're sitting by you at work. In church,
sometimes they're your first lady.
First lady. Let's speak the truth.
I've heard that firsthand.
Oh yeah,
you know,
I've had firsthand clients, so I know.
See, and we think a certain way, but you don't know. I wrote a poem about my smile, and people always talk about my smile, and I always say there is so much behind it. And I did a full monologue on a mask, and I kept taking the mask off as I was talking, but the mask was like never ending. I'd take one mask off, boom, boom, because that's what you have to do to get through life. And yes, you believe in God and you love him, but you got to have the people that God placed in your life, like Miss Vita, to give you that and tell you how to plan your escape route. They have these escape rooms that you can go do in Atlanta. And I said, oh, I'm going to do it one day. You know, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's challenging. I want to get in that escape room. I want to get out. Or the break room. It's in Peachtree City, where you can go in and you can bring whatever you want, or they have it. You suit up and you just break stuff. You know, and that might be something you want to do with your ladies.
Yes.
Just to get it out. You know, a smile goes a long way when you don't know that person. And you don't know them because she's her best advocate for herself, you know? And Miss Vita was saying this. Guys, we have to pay attention to what's going on. So we have about a couple of minutes. You can give them numbers to call. You can tell them your website. You can let them know about the walk, because we have a couple of minutes left.
Okay, let me invite you guys so we can finish this conversation. We can continue the conversation.
Every day.
Please.
Maybe once a month, Miss Vita, you need to be here with me.
You know, because some healing needs to be going on. The walk is on October 20th. And it's Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. It's the 5K walk run against domestic violence, and it's going to be at the Riverdale Town Center. But go to our website at www.sistersempowerment.org.
Yes, and I will be at the walk. And it doesn't matter what they say is on the MRI come next week. I will be there.
Yes.
Even if you're willing me.
I know.
All right, we have a caller. Caller, you're on the line with Mrs. Vita and Jocasta. Happy Saturday.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
That's Melita.
It's Melita.
Hey, Melita, I thought that voice sounds so familiar.
Hey, happy Saturday,
Hey.
beautiful.
Hey. Well, I just called to say hi. Y'all look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
But Vita, I just want to say I just love you so much because I already told you, but like you have the heart of an angel, and you know I know you don't feel appreciated enough, but you're so appreciated, and you don't even know it that you stepped out on faith and you're able to do everything that that you do for women, and it wasn't even directly, it was indirectly how, which I'm glad you guys talked about how it affects the children, but you were indirectly involved. It didn't necessarily happen to you. And so that makes you have the heart of an angel. Like you are the angel for these women and myself, because I call you and I cry sometimes and everything. And I just love you. I mean, God is with you. And whatever you pray about, just know that God got the answer, and He's already working it out because you're obedient to what you were called to do.
Oh, I love you, and you're gonna make me cry now. Thank you so much. I needed that.
Yeah. So,
Love
hey
you
Jay.
so
Hey, Lita.
much.
Thank you so much for calling in. Yes, Ms. Vita is definitely appreciated, and we definitely love you. And if there's anything that I can personally do that's within my will, I will do. Just ask. I always tell people I love a no because at least I said something.
You said something. Well, do we
Right, and then I only had one more comment to say because you guys were saying how the commercial is a great idea, but the reason why the stigma is, and me knowing firsthand, is it's embarrassing. So, and so many people judge you. And so when you have to be brave to even step out, to even speak about it. Like Jocasta said she didn't know. Yeah, because I was embarrassed. I'm not going to tell my friends that I'm sitting here going through this, and I'm just, I'm a strong Black woman, and I'm like, I can get through this myself, and I could do this.
Praise
In
God.
actuality, it only got worse and worse, until finally I was like, okay. But now I didn't let my friends know, but I did keep the police involved. So it wasn't like I just one day this happened. It was known to I thought the correct people to report it to, but
Praise God.
it's not always. It's still frowned upon. So it's like even they judge you. So it's like everybody judge you. So it's hard for women to speak out about it. And I'm glad we're in a new era, a new generation where we can speak out. Because like Vita said, in her generation, you didn't talk about it. And to me, in our generation now, it's like we like to talk. We need to talk. We got to get it out because all that stuff harbored in is
All right,
poison
we
to your
hate to
soul.
cut you off. You definitely
So,
are welcome to come on the show and talk about your domestic violence experience. I know Miss Vita will love to come back, and maybe she'll come back and talk on the show with you, Lita. Thank you so much for calling in. Praise be. We love you. Everybody, we thank you for listening to That's What's Up with Jocasta on 108 Praise Radio, where we're always voicing the gospel. This Purple Purse is Allstate Foundation. Purple Purse is committed to ending domestic violence through financial empowerment. A Purple Purse represents the color of national domestic violence awareness and the center of a woman's financial domain. Tennis champion and Purple Purse program ambassador Serena Williams designed this year's limited edition Purple Purse. Serena's design can house all the necessities for any woman's daily life while making no sacrifice. To visit, go to purplepurse.com to learn more. And go to sistersempowerment.com.
Purple Purse, right. And
to get the Purple Purse, to be able to purchase it. Can we purchase it at the Walk?
you can put what you do when you donate to the Purple Purse online, you will be entered to win one of these, and they're going to give away one every week, and we're also going to be giving away this awesome purse, too.
Well, I like that purse, and I want it, too. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to 108 Praise Radio, to That's What's Up with Jocasta, where we're always voicing the gospel. See you next Saturday. Love you much. Thank you.